Good evening, Lake Orion. Welcome to Lake Orion Girls Basketball Preview Show on ON TV. I'm your host, Anthony Taormina, and here I've got Coach Bob Brydges.
Good afternoon. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Thanks for having us.
I've got senior forward Sophie Wyborski. How are you, Sophie?
Great.
And I've got senior Paytin Shadaia.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Wonderful. I want to talk to you guys about, before we talk about this season, I want to talk about last season, and I want to start with talking to Bob. Last season, even though you were the JV coach, the varsity was in the OA Red last year and was very competitive. And so I want to talk to you about last season, how that went.
Last season we went through some growing pains, I think, a little bit. New coach again last year. Just like this year, unfortunately, but I thought Mike did some good things. I think he put in some possibilities as we moved forward. The girls competed every night. It was they were competitive in the Red.
Yes.
We didn't really get blown out of any games. Unfortunately, we had some key injuries. You know, you had a guard that went down early. You played without a couple other younger players middle of the season, so that didn't help any. But no, I think they grew from it. I think they'll have a lot of experience. Sometimes you can actually gain more experiences from some of your losses than you ever can from getting some real big wins. So I'm looking forward to building off of that this year and seeing where we can take it.
We graduated three very good players last year.
Yeah, we really did. You graduated Shannon Falter, you graduated Sydney Stringer, and you graduated Cam Coltrane. Cam unfortunately got injured early in the season at Birmingham Seaholm, if I remember right, out with the year for a knee injury. So that hurt. Shannon's defensive presence, I think, is going to be something we're going to have to find and fill the void. And Sydney Stringer's scoring. She was very good from outside range, pretty good on the boards. Those will be things that we're looking to go ahead and build off of. But honestly, we have, a ton of returning kids this year. I'm looking forward to that experience and that scoring ability. We're probably going to play a little different than we did last year, a lot more up and down. But I do think we will definitely miss some of those contributions from those kids.
And you guys had some really good wins last year. You beat Utica Eisenhower, who is one of the best teams in the MAC. You beat Notre Dame Prep, who is another very good team. Seaholm, who ended up doing pretty well in their division last year, and then you beat Adams too.
And honestly, the first time we played Adams, I thought we probably should have had a win there too. We actually got down early and fought back late, and I thought we actually were going to come back and win that game. Fell a little short. It wasn't just that, though. I mean, even some of the games, you lose to Romeo by 1. We took Clarkson into overtime.
Yep.
There were some really great games there. We really battled hard. And the teams that we did beat early in the season, especially, if you notice, a lot of those wins came early when we had a full complement of roster. So, you had Cam, you had Kendall, you had, Carrie Janis, who was a sophomore last year, will be a junior this year. You had everybody, you had a full complement of players and a lot of rotating. As the season progressed, Paytin and Sophie especially, and part of the reason they're here, these two out of 32 minutes were playing 26, 28, 30 minutes a game, where their Baylor came off the floor. And that contributes to, letdowns as you move forward in the season. So as much as the injuries hurt, I thought, like I said, I think the kids battled hard in a lot of games. I mean, we were close. Again, there was really no blowouts last year. Everything was a good battle, within 8, 10, 12 points sometimes, and even less. I mean, like I said, you had 1-point game with Romeo at their place, tough place to play, little bandbox gym. And then, Clarkson on the road, we had them down in the final seconds. They tied it up, take us to overtime, and we lost in overtime. But another great game with a team who turned out to be one of the very, very good programs in the OAA Red.
Sophie, what was your take about last season?
I thought that we worked really hard as a team, but like Bob said, we just fell short on a lot of the games. I don't think that we were, I think we all had talent, but we just weren't getting it, I guess. But we all fought hard, so.
Paytin, what was your take?
Yeah, I think every game we played our heart out, and we really bonded as a team last year. We played as a team, and then when we did fall short, it was the little things that caused it. But after all the injuries, we really took into account what place we each had on the team, and we really strengthened our position.
Nice. I wanted to talk to you guys. You guys kind of brought it up. The returners that we got returning. You got Paytin and Sophie back.
Absolutely.
You talk about who is returning this season?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you've got some seniors that are returning that, you know, besides, you know, obviously, you know, Paytin at the point guard position, Sophie playing inside and outside both. I will expect that out of her this year, whether she knows it or not. Welcome to the club. You know, Grace Berger is a senior this year. Carrie Janis is a senior this year. Kylie Anderson is a senior this year. Kendall Robertson will be back as a sophomore. Megan Marshall will be back as a sophomore. So, I mean, those were all key cogs. All of those kids played lots of minutes last year, and that only benefits us moving forward. To Payton's point, you know, you did have just a couple little things, you know, that missed maybe here or there, that now with that experience we can pick that up and move forward. I'll be excited to see the additions we make to the varsity roster. Obviously that's not set yet. Trials don't even start till the 12th. So I don't want to go ahead and surmise who may or may not be on any rosters.
Right.
But obviously with the, you know, the amount of returning players that we have at our disposal, I mean, we are definitely primed to have you know, at least a better base than we had last year going in, I think.
Sophie, what's your take about the returners?
I'm excited, especially for the seniors. I'm really excited to play with them and just all the new people coming up. So.
Paytin?
Same kind of deal. I feel like all the returners have played with each other for a couple of years now, and we're all just ready to take on like senior season, or even like Megan and Kendall. Like we played with them last year, and it's just it's fun to get back together and like play the sport that we all love.
Great. Bob, I want to introduce you as the varsity coach. Can you talk to me about your experiences? You've coached at Bloomfield Hills Lasser. You've been in the Lake Orion program for a few years now.
This will be my 6th season in Lake Orion. Funny enough, I actually started in Lake Orion with an AAU program. We were actually 13 years. We ran the Shock Piston Viper to start out, and then it just became the Shock and Pistons AAU program here in Lake Orion that had a lot of success, led to some great success in the mid to late 2000s. After that, I actually went to Waterford Mott for a year, and then I did end up at Lasser. At Lasser, I was a JV coach for a year and then moved into varsity. Had the varsity there until they closed the school, and enjoyed every second of that. Got an opportunity to come back here, and it's close to home. It's where I live. It's where my kids grew up. It's where my kids went to school. And now I'm really excited to have an opportunity to go ahead and take over the program as the varsity coach. It was kind of a surprise to me that Mike, you know, made a move back to his home school, but I totally understand it with young kids and opportunities within his school district to go back. But it opened a door for me. I'm excited to take the reins and see what we can do. I think both of their points, having kids that have played together, having a lot of the kids that I've had opportunities to coach on their way up, it'll be great to actually renew some of those bonds. Even though you see them every day or you see them at every game, you're not interacting with them on the floor as much as I got to, like when some of them were freshmen or some of them were JV players. So I'm really looking forward to that opportunity. This is my 21st year of girls basketball total. So it just means I'm old. It doesn't mean anything other than that. But I am. I'm re-energized, especially just by the opportunity to go ahead and work with these kids and see what we can do with the potential I think is there. And I honestly, you know, when you look at it, there's potential there. And they're all talented kids. They're good kids. And it's fun to watch them grow from freshmen, you know, all the way up. And now they're all seniors. And it's like, holy smokes, you were just a freshman 2 minutes ago. So I'm excited to see how we do with that. But I'm very excited to be the varsity girls coach here in Lake Orion.
That's awesome. Ladies, what do you guys, I'm going to ask both of you guys, what's your take about having Bob as the coach, as the man? You guys, a lot of you guys have been coached by Bob, or Bob's been around the program. What's your take about that? I'll start with Paytin first.
Well, yeah, I had Bob as a coach previously to this, and I just think he knows what he's talking about, and practice is just different. We work hard in practice, so we play hard in games. And last year, I know that practice we could have gone harder, and I feel like that was part of our downfall. So with Bob, it's going hard and having fun, and we really focus on like building ourselves as players and the team. So I think doing that together really makes the team better as a whole.
Soph?
Well, I haven't had Bob yet as a coach, but I've obviously known him for a long time, and I'm just really excited. I think he's going to bring so much to our program, and I think he'll just make our team closer together, and we'll just be super intense, like Paytin said, in practice. It's going to be a good season.
Any final thoughts on the first segment, Bob?
No, I think, just to wrap up the first segment, I think you can hear all three of us talking. We're excited to get going this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think the expectations of ourselves, not what everybody else thinks, but the expectations of ourselves, we know we're better than where we were at last year. And I think you guys will see that on the floor this year.
Sophie?
What Bob said.
Paytin?
Same thing. We have a lot of potential.
We'll be right back with the Lake Orion Girls Basketball Preview Show on ON TV.
Hey, it's ON TV here. Now, have you ever had the urge to create your own TV show, or you just wanted to see what goes behind the scenes of making a TV program? Well, ON TV has just the program for you. ON TV offers studio and field production classes that allow you to take control and create the programs the way you want them to be. We will introduce you to media literacy skills and the fundamentals of program production in order to acquire the basic training needs for ON TV equipment use. To get started, all you have to do is sign up for a free ON TV orientation, where you will learn all about ON TV and all the opportunities available to our volunteers, as well as meet the ON TV staff and take a tour of our facility. After that, you can register for one of our production courses. Both the studio and field production courses are only $10 for Lake Orion residents and $25 for non-residents. For more information about ON TV's production classes, feel free to call us at 248-393-1060 or go to orionontv.org and click Register Now to sign up for classes. We hope to see you soon.
Welcome back to Lake Orion Girls Basketball Preview Show on ON TV. Ladies, how are we doing? Bob, how are you doing?
Good.
Ladies?
I'm good.
So
Good.
Wonderful. I want to talk to you guys about the schedule this season. Last season, you guys were in the red with Clarkston, Southfield, North Farmington, Bloomfield Hills, Adams. And I wanted to talk about this year we made the move down to the OA White, where in the White there are 8 teams. Obviously Lake Orion, Rochester Adams, Oxford, West Bloomfield, Troy Athens, Avondale, and Farmington. That's the teams in our league. So what's your take? I want to start with Bob. What's your take about that league?
The interesting part is, even though we're moving down a division, the White has actually gotten much better. Teams like Oxford, they were good last year. They have some key returning kids this year. They're going to be good. West Bloomfield is going to be very good. There'll be somebody to look out for. Adams was young last year, just an inexperienced, kind of similar to what we were. They're going to be back and be good. Both Troy schools were actually decent. They were getting better toward the end of last season. Avondale's got a ton of returning seniors. So we're really looking at, a very competitive White division. I'm excited about that, though, because that just means we're going to have to bring our A game every night. And I think the one thing that I try and make sure that, especially, that these guys are ready to play at top level every single day. And that's part of, Paytin brought it up earlier, we go hard at practice. There's no days off. We don't do that. The only day we take off is our Saturday morning shoot-arounds. We have shooting every single Saturday. And those will be the key components for us, is getting ready to play those tough games. And again, I harken back to what I said earlier. It's nice because I have a group coming back that played a lot of close games last year. Now it's just learning to win that last 10 seconds, that last 2 minutes. And I think in this OAA White this year, it's going to be important to have that. So I'm really excited about what the schedule brings for us. We actually have a preseason, a non-league game against Seaholm again this year. We get them at home. It was a good game last year at their place, so I expect another good game. We have Midland coming in this year, so excited about that. I believe we had Notre Dame Prep again.
Yep.
So Notre Dame Prep's always a top-tier school as far as that goes. They play tough, real tough, hard-nosed man-to-man. So we'll be looking to go ahead and really be prepped headed into that OA White season. But I'm excited about it. I think there's some great teams there, and I look forward to the competition.
Ladies, what's your take about the new divisions? I want to start with Sophie first. We've had in your freshman and sophomore years, we've had history of going against some of these teams before, so we should be familiar with them. What's your take about the league?
I definitely think it's still going to be competitive, like Bob said, but I think if we hustle and we have to figure out our flaws, but we all work pretty well together and we all work hard, so I think we'll be competitive and we'll be able to win a lot of games.
Paytin?
Yeah, I think the same thing compared to last year. I think we're still going to have a lot of close games, but I think we're going to end up on top. And last year, it just taught us how hard we had to work. So moving down a division, if anything, we're going to work just as hard, if not harder, and they'll end up boosting us above everyone else.
We'll work harder. I promise you that.
I want to talk about the non-league. Bob, you made mention to some of the teams. Our non-league schedule is extremely competitive. You open up the season at home against Seaholm. You also will be hosting Midland. You go to Groves, and then you talked about Notre Dame Prep. You also go to Lapeer, and you also go to Stony Creek. What's your take about the non-league?
The non-league is going to be competitive, but that only sets us up to be really, really ready for the OA White, which we've all said is going to be a very competitive league this year. Playing at Lapeer, tough place to play. They're very good up there. They're very disciplined. They press and run a lot, and we'll have to be ready for that. Notre Dame Prep, I already said, they're going to play tough man-to-man. I don't know a ton on the Midland team yet. I'm still getting familiarized with that. I've got some tape I've been reviewing on those guys, but we know what we're going to get out of Seaholm. There, although they do have a new coach this year, so
yes,
little different. But I expect a good game. Stony Creek's going to be tough. Kellen James has his kids ready to play every year. I know he returned quite a few kids. That zone they play and that trapping 2-2-1 that they play, we got to be ready for it, and we'll have to attack it and be ready to do what we can do to go ahead and beat those teams. If we can go ahead and compete hard and just learn early how much that we have to do, especially practice-wise and preparingness-wise, it's just going to be important for us to go ahead and understand there's no nights off here in our schedule. 1 to 20, there's not a night off. The time we take a night off is the time we'll get beaten, and we don't want that. So I'm excited for the preseason, non-league schedule, because I do think it prepares us for a very competitive OA White.
Sophie?
Yeah, I think over the summer we saw a lot of the teams, and it was obvious it's going to be very competitive. We're going to be going head-to-head, but I think we just need to work hard and listen to Bob. Bob knows what he's doing, and I think we'll do well.
Paytin?
Yeah, they're going to be competitive, but if anything, we're going to learn how we're going to play this season. And there's no negatives of playing these teams. It's just all about learning how we react and how we can move past it.
I want to talk also about there's 2 games that we're looking forward to and bringing back. Is first the pink game, and then you're also honoring your teachers. I want to talk about how did you get the idea, and obviously the pink game. We've had the pink game before, and now we're bringing it back this year. So I want to ask. I'll start with Bob. What the take is about the pink game, and then the honoring the teachers.
I think let's start with the pink game. The pink game to me is super important. Everyone here and everybody in the community has been touched in some way, shape, or form, by cancer. I mean, it may not be an immediate family member, but it might be an aunt or an uncle or a grandparent. It's just something that is important to recognize, important to show your support for. And these girls love that game. They love that pink game. We haven't decided an opponent on that yet. I'm sure that I'll be able to work that out some way, shape, or form. We'll get that done. But I do think it's important. I think it's important to bring awareness to a cause and continue to fight for that cause. As far as the teacher game goes, the boys have been doing it for a while. And I actually spoke to Coach Manzo, and I said, listen, it's a very classy thing you guys do with the teachers, and I'd like your permission to steal it. And he said, absolutely. He said, the more teachers we can honor, the better. Being a coach is being a teacher. You're just teaching different things. I'm not teaching math and English and history and AP Calc or government or whatever. I'm teaching basketball. And you're just a teacher of a different nature. And I think to give back to those teachers we see also 5 or 6 days a week sometimes, it's a great feeling for the kids, number one. I think it's important for the school district to rally around specific teachers that do get honored that way. And so I think it's very important to give back and to make sure that we, just call out the teachers that have made a difference in our lives. And I think that's the reason behind it, and I think that's the reason the kids will like it.
Awesome. Paytin, what's your take?
I'll start off with the teachers. Like Bob said, it's just like, I don't know, we don't see each other as like athletes. Like before practice or before games, we have those 7 hours of school, and it's not just our like coach or our parents doing everything. And it's nice to honor those that are like actually improving our lives and are making a difference. So it's nice to show our teachers like some appreciation and that we really do care for them. And as for the pink game, as Bob said, everyone that I know has been like affected by cancer in some way. And I think like football does it, boys basketball does it, almost every sport does it. And if we do it, it's just one more way to give back to like the community and those that, have been affected. And it's just a nice way to show that like we support them, and it's just for a good cause. It's nice to do.
Sophie?
Yeah, so what Paytin said, like with the teachers, they might not always know how much they impact us or how much we appreciate them. So those teachers that did make a big difference in our lives, I think it's just super important to recognize that. And then the pink out game, every single person has been affected or touched by cancer. So I just think that like that game we all love, and it's just super important, and both games and both events just bring our community closer together, and they help just to build our program. And so
Awesome. I want to conclude the schedule part of it by talking about the districts. This year we are hosting districts with Lake Orion, Clarkston, Oxford, Adams, Romeo, and Kettering. Very competitive district. What's your take, Bob?
Very competitive district, but I like the fact that we have a home court advantage. The one thing, and Paytin playing for me knows this especially, one thing that I preach a lot, home court is home court. You protect home court. And going into a district where you're playing on your home court, and for some of these kids, especially because we will be very senior laden, every opportunity to play at that home court is another opportunity to play. Some of them may go on and play other places, some may not. It could be the very last time they put on the Lake Orion uniform at that particular point as far as basketball goes. So it's going to be important for us to really step up and show what we can do. The nice part is we have a 20-game, very competitive schedule leading up to districts. We want to be competitive districts. We haven't been for a long time, and it's time for Lake Orion to really set a foundation to start moving forward in district play. We're better than that. We know we're better than that, and we have the talented kids to show that we're better than that. And I think as we move forward, the kids will do that.
Sophie, your take about districts?
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited about districts this year. I think just everything's fresh this year. We have a new start, and I think that we can build up to win a district.
Paytin?
Yeah, I think we could pull off a district win. It's just the atmosphere and what Bob said about home court could be our last time playing, so we're just going to bring it all and see what it takes us.
Any final thoughts on the schedule?
I'm just looking forward to a real competitive schedule. I think it's a great opportunity for our kids to put their best foot forward. You're going to see a lot of new faces that are going to be doing a lot of new things. We'll probably be playing a little differently than you've probably seen in the past as well. But overall, I'm really looking forward to the schedule. I think it sets up well for us to be competitive and actually prep ourselves headed into district games at the end of the year.
Sophie? Any final thoughts?
No.
Paytin?
I'm ready for some competition.
We'll be right back with the Lake Orion Girls Basketball Preview Show on ON TV.
On the evening of Wednesday, October 17th, young filmmakers, their family, and friends gathered at the Goodrich Oxford 7 Theater for ONTV's 5th annual Wildwood Film Festival. 11 teams took part in the festival, having just 4 days to write, shoot, and edit a short film before the deadline. Each team was assigned a prop, location, and a random line of dialogue.
One thing I really loved about this year's list of films is the dialogue. There was a lot of dialogue this year, a lot of acting, really solid acting. And not only that, the production values keep getting higher and higher and higher. And I think the word is getting out that the ONTV Film Festival is a way to, hey, let's make a movie. We've got 4 days to do it. It can only be 10 minutes long, and we're going to see it on the big screen. And you never know, you might win, and it's a good resume builder for a young filmmaker.
Judges viewed each submission, and winners were announced after the film festival. Taking first place in the adult division were Sarah and Samantha Andrus for their film Little Bigfoot.
I was honestly really surprised because everyone did such a good job. I was like really just surprised, but happy.
What was your reaction?
It was really awesome to see all of our hard work paying off. I was just so happy for everybody, and it was such a good experience. Honestly, it took a lot of work. We had to make like the script together, and it was all in like such a short time that we just put it together really fast. I was really nervous because I've never been on the big screen. This is the first time I've ever done any sort of acting. Sarah has more experience acting than I do, so I was sweating. I was so nervous, but it was fun. I loved it.
Second place honors went to Charlie Fracker and friends for their film Space Rocks.
I was actually really surprised. There were a lot of great, like really good films out there that I thought that should have beat me, but I was really happy at the same time that I was able to get second place.
And receiving a third place ribbon was Jacob Jor, Teddy Hirschfeld, and Tyler Battershell for their romantic short Catching Up.
Well, this was my first time actually making a film. In the past, I had just been being part of other people's films. Putting together a film, a lot more stressful, but also a lot more fun. I felt way more a part of the competition.
A first place award was also handed out in the youth division. Callie Neese was on hand to accept the award for her film entitled I Loved You.
It was a bit stressful, but I'm really glad, and I had a lot of fun doing it.
What was stressful about the shoot?
There was a lot of conflicting opinions, but we ended up getting it together and getting everything together quickly.
What was it like, the experience here today, watching your film on the big screen and that?
It definitely was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I just was glad I got to share it with all my best friends.
All 11 submissions will air on local cable TV and can be found on ONTV's YouTube channel. For more information, visit orionontv.org. In Oxford, this is Joe Johnson reporting for ONTV News.
Welcome back to Lake Orion Girls Basketball Preview Show on ONTV. I'm your host, Anthony Taormina. Ladies, how are we doing?
Good, how are you?
Wonderful, Payton. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Bob, how are you doing?
We're good. I'm excited, man. This has been fun. This has been a great opportunity for you guys to get to know some of our key participants and just some about what's going to happen this year. I'm excited.
I want to talk about the role. What is their role in the community for Lake Orion girls basketball?
You know, I've talked about this with a lot of different people over the years, even though I wasn't the varsity coach. And, you know, one of the things that I'm really going to strive to push for, you know, I want the kids that are in elementary school, the kids that are in middle school that are coming up, that are playing in our youth leagues, which we're going to talk about in a few. I want them to see this varsity team as the beacon. I want them to know that these guys are going out there to represent them every single night and that they're doing it the right way. And that's the best part about having kids like Payton and like Sophie and like all these other kids that are coming back. I said, you know, if they can go ahead and continue to grow and perform at the levels that they're capable of, they're going to start setting that standard. And that's really what it's about. It's about setting a standard, about, you know, being able to, you know, use the teacher night, use the pink night, using the little kids basketball league where we're training younger athletes. You know, I want them to look up and, you know, which one of you is the next Sophie Wyborski? Which one of you is the next Paytin Shadaia? You know, who's the next Sid Stringer that left last year? Who's the next Shannon Falter that left last year? You know, I want I want those kids to have a feeling like this is where I want to be. This is part of the program I want to grow up in. And really, for a community to have that is important, I think. Lake Orion's a bigger community, but not too big to have kind of a hometown feel. And I think everybody understands that.
So?
Yeah, I just think that, like with the youth programs, there's everything, if we're working with them and they just see how we play, how we hustle, our work ethics, I think that can just motivate them. And like Bob said, they might want to play hard like us in the future.
Paytin?
Yeah, I think as varsity players, we're the role models for the younger community, and if they don't see good role models, they're not going to want to play basketball in the future. So if they see us and we're having fun and we're loving it, then they're going to try it, and it's just going to keep going, and the program's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and better and better.
Want to talk about on the subject of the youth league. What do you guys do for the youth league?
So this year, again, we'll be hosting. It's a 9-week program instead of a 10-week program this year. We kind of cut down the first 2 weeks were a little too much, but so we actually have 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade league, and we have a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade league, and it's a great opportunity for 5-on-5 basketball. They're all decked out in green and white. We love watching them in their Lake Orion jerseys running up and down. I know especially a lot of the seniors have this special little piece that you see these little 3rd and 4th graders come in, and even the younger kids when they show up, they love it. They love working with these kids. So we take the first week, we actually do skill development work, whether it's ball handling or rebounding or passing or defense. And the kids take pride in actually going ahead and showing these kids how to do it and do it correctly. That's the most important part. But then they come in and they also referee the games, for the later pieces. So
who's the best referee, Bob?
Is that they
us as a team.
Yeah. Honestly, I think quite a few of the girls do a good job. Obviously, these two are very good at it. And now that they've moved up with the program, they do most of the older kid games now, and we have some of the JV kids and freshman kids do the younger kid games because they're not quite as fast, little less calls that are made. I will reiterate this though, for any parents that are out there that are watching this, just understand these kids are out there having a blast, and no whether they win or they lose, an hour after the game, as long as they went and got ice cream or an orange or something crazy, they could care less. They're just ready to have a great time. And trust me, I've been there. I'm a parent to myself, and I was not great. But you just have to let them be kids and let the coaches coach and let the referees ref. And we're not going to get everything right, but I'm going to tell you what, the kids do a great job of it. It's fun to watch them interact with the younger upcoming basketball players. I think that's important. To Paytin's point, being a role model, if she's there reffing a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade game, 2 or 3 of every single game might be a freshman next year in the program, and they might say, hey, I can't wait to be part of that. And that's just part of giving back to the community. I think it's really important and to continue that program. I look forward to working with that program, even though I have the first 5 years I've been here, I've worked very closely with it. It's a great development program, and I think it'll be a very good piece for these guys to give back.
Paytin?
Yeah, I think it's just funny how, like, when we do ref these games, we think of when we were that little, or like when we were in middle school, how it was like to see the older upperclassmen, like, wow, I want to be them one day. And it's just crazy to think how we're already there. But it's just so nice to, teach them, because some people aren't, like, they don't have the ability to get taught. And it's nice learning from a player rather than sometimes a coach. It's a lot easier, and it's just more fun that way.
Sophie?
Yeah, like Paytin said, I remember my first year playing in the Lake Orion program, and it was just so much fun. So I feel like, and especially now, this is one of my favorite parts of the program, is just working with the kids. And so, they'll improve, they might not have the best skills, but I feel like at the end of the day, we're having fun, they're having fun, so we've made an impact. So.
Awesome. I want to talk about the coaching staff and also the support staff. This is Bob's thing. What's your take about the coaching staff and the support staff that you have?
We're still finalizing some things on the coaching staff. Obviously, Dan Stakely will be involved in the program. He coaches 7th grade out at Oakview. and he coaches the 7th grade girls out there. He's also been my assistant the last couple of years at the JV level. Lisa Davignon has been a big part of my basketball career. I coached Lisa. Lisa coached with me. She was my varsity assistant at Losser, so she'll also be involved. Rob York is returning as the freshman coach, so there may be another addition or two that we look at. But I'm excited. We have a great staff that's well-rounded. I think the nice part about our staff is everybody has really depth basketball knowledge, and it's our turn to give to them, you know, and create the next level of basketball player. And that's really what this program is going to be about. It's about the players. It's not so much about the coaches. It's what the coaches can do to help the players get to a point where they want to be. You know, obviously support staff. I mean, you know, between Chris Bell and Janice Allard and both of the Taormina boys, even though Anthony's so much better than Sandy. You know, Eric Jennings doing the call of the varsity games. I mean, we're fortunate to have a fantastic staff. You know, between our two trainers, you know, Megan and Chelsea. I mean, we really have a great staff around the team. Now we want to go out there and work hard to give them something to be proud of when they look at the girls' basketball program and go, oh, here we go. I want them to go, here we go. Yes, this is what it's all about. So I'm excited about our staff. I'm excited about bringing some pieces in. I'm really excited to have the support team that I really do have. It's nice to have that many people that care enough to give to their time and energy to make us successful.
All right, ladies, I want to ask you guys, I'll start with Sophie. What is your season expectation for the season?
I expect our team to work hard, play together, and then just come out on top on a lot of our games.
Paytin?
Yeah, same kind of thing. I think the atmosphere is going to be really intense this season because all the seniors really want to win. And I think even though it's going to be really competitive, we're still going to, I think we're going to outscore a lot of our teams.
Bob?
You know, I've said before, this is a great opportunity for me to step in with a lot of returning players. And a lot of the returning players that have already played for me at some point in time. So I kind of have expectations in my mind as to where I think each player can be and where maybe they've been deficient getting to that point or where they've overachieved at certain pieces. But overall season expectations, I'll put it like this. I tell the girls this a lot, so I hate losing more than I like winning, and we'll work as such. It's one of the things that we're very cognizant of, that our record the last few years has not been great. We expect to change that, but it won't come without work and sacrifice. And I expect to do the same as all the kids will do. And I'm excited about seeing where they can go, because there have been some kids in this program that have had success at every level moving up to varsity, and our varsity team has just kind of muddled a little bit the last few years. But I really think this is the year we turn it around and start getting back to some of those core values that we've been working hard to establish. And that's exactly what we'll do. We'll see a good competitive product on the floor every night. You'll never see us get outworked. I can tell you that much. I have faith in these kids. I have faith in their abilities. And I just believe that their overall experience, leadership, and their work ethic will carry us to more wins than we've seen lately.
Thank you so much, Bob.
Thanks for having me, Anthony. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sophie.
Thanks, Ant.
Thank you, Paytin.
Thank you.
That will do it for the Lake Orion Girls Basketball Preview Show. I encourage fans out there, come out to Lake Orion High School. Come out and support the girls basketball team this upcoming season, whether it be in person or on Orion ON TV or WDBC. Have a great night, Lake Orion, and see you soon. Take care.